You'd be surprised how many dogs' behaviour problems are caused by being nervous. Sometimes it's not always obvious. So we've had a couple of stories on dogs behaving very badly where it's kind of become obvious as we've gone on. There was a little dog in Blackpool called Stanley, and he was going out on the streets and he was barking at everybody, lunging, kind of protecting his owners, you know, from them. And they were very upset about it. And it turned out that actually it's because he'd lost his little mate some time before and another little dog. And that dog was the one he looked up to. That was his leader. So he was fine when he was around, but when he'd gone, he missed him terribly and didn't know what to do. So one of my production team had an idea, which is why don't we get a photo of the other dog, the older dog, and put it down, see if you recognise it, see what happens. And I thought, I'm not sure that's going to happen, to be honest. It's not going to work, because it's not going to smell like the real dog, but you know, let's try it. And fair play, they were right. He walked up to the photo, and I'll never forget the body language. He looked genuinely like, oh, you're back. And then you could see the moment when he went, and then he just toddled off past us. And it makes me a bit emotional now, actually. And I looked up at the couple who were the owners, and the guy, big fella, big northern bloke, great big tear rolling down his face. I thought, oh yeah, I think we can see what's going on here. So the answer really was that poor little lad, he needed somebody to look up to, and mum and dad weren't being it. They didn't look the part. The answer was surprisingly simple, which is if you walk in a way that suggests you know what you're doing, it looks very reassuring to a nervous dog. So we started off with mum, and I got her to walk to the Winter Gardens in Blackpool in the manner of a ballroom dance champion. Which sounded like a funny thing to do. She did it on her own without the dog to start with. It looked great, and I didn't give her time to think. It's like, there's your dog, just go and do it again. And what happened next was amazing. There and then, he just changed. He didn't bark, he didn't lunge, he just went, oh, okay, I'm with you then. You know what you're doing, fine. Got Dad to do it, same result. My work here is done. It's a lovely story. I think I'll never forget that little lad, Stanley. Another nervous dog that we had that was very obviously nervous in this case was Buckley, and he was a Labrador up in Northumberland, and he was scared of the shiny floors in the house, and most of the house apart from the living room was hard flooring, and he just had this thing. So he would go in the utility room, sit in his bed, and he was just scared stiff of coming out. He just really didn't want to, and if you made him, he was like, no. So to get him from one place to another, they'd resorted to putting mats, like little islands, all around the house, so he would go from one to another to another. What was missing was sort of trying to entice him with food, even though he's a Labrador, wasn't working. You can't go shouting and screaming and telling him off for being scared, can you? That wouldn't be right. But you could do it with him. So I put the lead on him, and we did it together. It's like, come on mate, we can do this, you know? But in a manner that suggests, come on, it's happening anyway, you know, you're with me, yeah? We did it a few times more, did it again with the lead off, but walking with him, and then you can see how I was making little bridges here. Next thing was like, okay, do it on your own, you know, and we got there in the end, all the way from the utility, through the kitchen. It was like a little racetrack really, into the hallway, and then finally into the living room, where there was some food on the floor. So finally he was happy to do it, but it was lovely to be able to help him. But you could really see the difference. And again, the key was looking the part. It's like, we can do this, mate, we can do it together. But come on, it's fine. I'm not scared of the floor, it'll be all right. It's sort of easier to understand nervous dogs than you might think. If you've ever been nervous yourself about something or felt a bit anxious, sometimes you just need a bit of support. You know, you need sometimes to be with somebody who looks like they know what they're doing. It's like, no, it's fine, trust me, it's okay, you know? It does hinge on trust. If your dog looks at you and thinks, yeah, okay, I'm not sure about this, but I trust you, you're on a winner. So, yeah, if you look the part, you're halfway there.